So good morning students. Today I am going to take up the topic from business studies, and the topic is business risks and causes for failure. All of you understand that business is done to earn profit, but while earning profit, a businessman undergoes a lot of risks. So let me discuss about what risk is. So what is risk? So risk here is defined as business risk can be defined as losses in business activities due to events which create adverse situations and which are unpredictable. That is, if a businessman is doing business, his aim is to earn profit, but while earning profit, he undergoes lot of risks, and these risks are unpredictable. These risks are unpredictable. So unpredictability is the very nature of risk, and no business can function without risk. Risk is a part of a business. Risk is a part of a business. Risk cannot be eliminated from business. Risk has to be a part of this business. Risk can be managed, but risk cannot be eliminated. So risk here means, therefore, business risk can be defined as a loss in the business activities due to events which create adverse situations. Events here means unpredictable events. A businessman does not know tomorrow what is going to happen. So events are unpredictable. That is why I have written here events which create adverse situations and which are unpredictable. So what is the basic nature of risk? The basic nature of risk is that it is risky, as at the same time it is unpredictable. So that is the real nature of risk. So, and after having come to know what is the definition for risk, we need to know which all areas of business risk can take place. Risk can take place in various areas of the business. So what are those various areas? The various areas are production side. Risk can take place in the production side, risk can take place in the marketing side, risk can take place in the financial side, and risk can take place in general ways. Now I shall discuss each one of these heads separately. But before discussing these heads, I would like to discuss the characteristic features of risk. What is the nature of risk? That I would like to discuss. So, the first characteristic feature of business risk is risks are inherent. Risks are inherent. What do you mean by inherent? That is, whenever any businessman starts a business, risk is always there. It is always inbuilt in the business. So, risk cannot be separated, or in other words, risk cannot be eliminated. Risk can only be managed. That is why the first nature of business risk is inherent. Risk is inherent in business. The second nature of risk is risk due to uncertainties. Risk always happens in the form of uncertainties. What are the uncertainties? Uncertainties can take place in the production side, uncertainties can take place in the marketing side, uncertainties can take place in the financial side, and uncertainties can take place in the form of general causes. Okay, this is risk due to uncertainties. Then government policies and rules. Now risk can be in the form of government policies and rules. When government rules and policies changes, there can be risk in a business for a particular business enterprise. So change in government or change in the policy in the rules of the government can cause risk in the business enterprise. Okay. Now the fourth nature of business risk is the size of the risk. What do you mean by size of the risk? If the business enterprise is a large one, risk is large. If the business enterprise is a small one, then the risk is small. Therefore, smaller business has smaller risk and larger business has larger risk. So I hope you understood what you mean by size of the risk. Okay. Then the fifth nature of risk is that risk is based on nature of business. What sort of business one is doing? So risk depends on the nature of business. Say for example, if I am having a business enterprise related to fashion designing. Fashions keep on changing. And as fashions keep on changing, if I have to succeed in my fashion designing business, then I will have to update myself to the latest fashion prevailing in the market. If I don't update myself, then I have the risk of running down in my business. So, nature of the business plays a very important role in deciding the degree of risk. Then, the sixth nature is profit is the reward for risk. Profit is the reward for risk. Yes, it is true. Every businessman does business for earning profit. But one important point to note here is that higher the risk, higher the profit. This is one of the truth in business. Higher the risk, higher the profit. But one thing which you have to very clearly understand, that higher the risk, higher the profit. But profit does not come always by taking risk. Sometimes even if you take high risk, you may land into losses. So, higher the profit, higher the risk. Higher the risk, higher the profit. But at the same time, profit is not assured all the times. So that is the nature. That is the sixth nature of risk. Then the seventh nature is business risk cannot be evaluated. That is, business risk cannot be measured. I cannot say I will have losses in this much degree, or I cannot say I will have losses in smaller degree, or I will have losses in larger degree. I cannot measure risk. That is why it is said that risk cannot be evaluated. Events beyond human control, and risk is such a factor that it is beyond human control. So whatever man can manage to face his risk, he can. But there are certain risks which are beyond human control. Okay, so this is the seventh nature of business risk. What is the seventh nature? The seventh nature is that business risk cannot be evaluated, it cannot be measured. So, the first segment deals with what is risk, then characteristic nature of business risk. Okay, now I am going to the second part of. Okay, now I am going to discuss the second part of business risk. The second part of business risk is that I am going to discuss what are the causes of business risk. The causes of business risk can be discussed under the following heads: economic causes, technological causes, human causes, natural causes, physical causes, and political causes. Okay, what are the economic causes? The economic causes are market conditions. Under the head called economic causes, what are the causes that we can discuss? We can discuss it under the subheadings called market conditions. If market conditions are favorable, then risk is low. If market conditions are not favorable for a particular enterprise, then the risk is very high. Then, if the demand for a particular product goes down, then the risk is very high for an organization. Similarly, if there is price variations, then that also causes risk. And what is that price variation example? For example, if the prices of oil increases, then the demand for the luxury car goes down. So the manufacturers of luxury cars, they face a lot of risk. Then the fourth is severe competitions. In severe competitions, I would like to give you an example. If competition for two similar products are existing in the market, and the latest product which enters the market, which is similar to the former product, then the chances for the enterprise for the former product is very high, whereas the risk for the newcomer is pretty less. So this is how I would like to explain the subheading called severe competition. Then trade cycles. If trade cycles interfere in the functioning of an business enterprises, then the business enterprises have got all the risk of facing have got all the chances of facing the risk. If suppose it is a period of depression, then the business will go down and the risk is very high. Then I would like to explain the fourth point, that is severe competition. In severe competition, I would like to make you understand. Say for example, at one given period of time, there were a lot of cinema theatres and people used to go to cinema theatres for watching movie. But with the coming of the videos, the the percentage of people going to the cinema theaters have got reduced. So the cinema theaters now face the risk. Why they face the risk? Because of the coming of the videos. So this is how you have to explain the example in case of the subheading called severe competition. Okay, now coming to technological causes. Technological causes a change in the technology, and change in the technology affects the production and distribution. For example, in the earlier period, cotton cloths were very popular, but with the advancement in technology, synthetic fiber started coming into the market. When synthetic fiber started coming into the market, cotton cloths got affected. So the distribution of cotton cloth also got affected, but at the same time the distribution of synthetic fiber increased. So cotton cloths face the risk. Then another example I would like to highlight is supercomputers. Before coming of the supercomputers, there were model computers, but as the supercomputers came into the scene, the model computers lost the market. So this is yet another kind of risk which can be discussed under the head called technological causes. Then human causes. Human causes, say for example, if somebody is dishonest in an organization, if somebody is dishonest in if somebody is dishonest in an organization, then the organization faces a risk. Similarly, if there is a particular person who is running the entire enterprise and if he dies, then there is a risk for the organization. Then, if there is an irrational approach, suppose if the enterprise does not approach their customers in a proper manner, if they don't have any proper approach, then there is a risk. Then, if there is a supplier, if the suppliers are not supplying properly the raw materials to the manufacturing unit at the right time, then the business can fall. Then bad tools. If an enterprise has bad tools, if a manufacturing has bad tools and they don't care for the tools, then the business will fall. Then bad debts. If an enterprise is having more of debts, it has not cleared its debts, then it is also running into risk. So these kind of risk comes under human causes. Then natural causes. What are natural causes? Natural causes can be like floods or storms. Floods or storms can affect manufacturing. Floods or storms can affect the distribution of products. Okay, then physical causes. What are the physical causes? The physical causes are failure of machinery, equipment or injuries. Failure of machinery or equipment or injuries. See, machines can fail, and there are some very sophisticated machines. If they fail, it takes a long time to rerun the machines. So the time lost in rerunning the machines is a risk factor causing losses. Similarly, if a person operating in a machine loses his hands or he has some physical injury, then that also is one of the reasons for the failure in a business. So political causes. Now coming to the last cause, political causes. Now if the government changes, if a government changes or the government that is in rule changes the rules or policies, then the business is affected. Then political clashes. If there are political violence and political clashes in a particular state, then the particular state business gets affected. So, my dear students, I have discussed two segments. One is what is risk. I have defined risk. I have defined the nature of risk. Then I have defined the causes of risk and what are the 6 causes that are the underlying reasons for business risk. I have discussed. So I hope all of you must have understood this particular topic, and this particular topic I am discussing today from your examination point of view, which is going to be held this month. Thank you. Tomorrow I shall discuss further about business.